So much, Phil Flynn, Wilbur Ross in the studio with us. Let's talk about that export ban. You think it should be lifted?
I certainly do. We now have signed a treaty that's going to let Iran export oil wherever they wish. Why shouldn't American companies have equal ability to the Iranians?
You would think so. I mean, everybody has said the same thing here, that at this point we should be lifting this. Let me talk about Europe and Greece for a second, because you wrote an op-ed about Greek banks. Let's talk about that right now. Wilbur, 40% of Greek families either work for the government or on pensions and are little affected by some of the new proposals.
Well, that's right. What's going on right now is the European Central Bank is re-reviewing the loan portfolios of the banks, asset quality review, and then a stress test to try to determine how much capital they might need. I hope that they don't make an overly conservative assumption, because the Greek government already borrowed $30 billion to put into the banks. If they now get saddled with another $25 billion, it'd be that much harder ever to pay it back.
How would you characterize the banks right now in Europe? Obviously, you've got Eurobank, big acquisition there, as well you acquired Cyprus Bank.
Right. Well, Cyprus is doing very well. The economy has turned around. The capital control, in Cyprus. The capital controls have been lifted and all that. So Cyprus is very much on the mend. Greece had been on the mend, and then the Cyprus administration indulged in this fantasy of game theory negotiating, and that caused a lot of turmoil. And that caused, in turn, the depositors to withdraw funds. They were afraid they would be dramatized.
Do you like Europe right now? Are there opportunities to buy in Europe?
Yeah, I think you have to think about Europe, though, as individual countries. No one has ever introduced himself to me as a European. They introduce themselves as Greek or French or Italian.
So it's very different
whatever.
Country to country.
So it really is very different. The country I worry about is France. I think there's a very, very high chance that in the next 5 or so years, France could be the big sick man in Europe.
Wow. So we've gone from Spain to Greece, and now we're back at France.
Right.
What's your take on Europe right now from an investment standpoint, Mary?
From an investment standpoint, we continue to like Europe. The concern is the euro. We think as the ECB continues to print money, the euro will depreciate. So if you're going to invest, we think you should be hedging the currency, but we do like Europe.
All right. Well, thanks.